Joining us today for this week's entertainment panel is the gorgeous Abby St. John. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
Of course. Now we have some good films to talk about for the month of October. And starting off, we're going to be talking once again about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, that came out on October 1st. And the reason that we're bringing this up once again is just to see, seeing the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes how show 59%, but the audience score is 85%. Now it's kind of fascinating to see how different the scores are. And some find the humor might be bad, but for others they may find it hilarious. So it's going to be interesting what this movie has all involved and why the audience score and the Rotten Tomatoes score is so different.
Yeah, it's very much down the middle, especially with critics' reviews. A lot of critics are, split down the middle, opposed to the first movie that got a ton of great reviews. Now, it is only an hour and a half, which is shorter than the first one, which is somewhat interesting, considering it is an action movie. It's a Sony with a Marvel association, so you'd expect it to be a little longer. But besides that, it is getting mixed reviews from critics. Robert Daniels from the LA Times says it's not the promised spectacle that cements Venom, Let There Be Carnage as touching, wild entertainment. It's the themes of home, love, and companionship that make Circus's sequel another reason to want to make more Venom movies, and quickly. Now, on the other side, Richard Lawson from Vanity Fair said mostly noisy and flimsy and without purpose. Hastily responds to the original's unexpected success and little else. Naturally, a third film is advertised at the end. So you see that there is a lot of different mixed reviews, especially from critics. Now, like you mentioned at the beginning, 59% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, not that great of a score, but on the flip side, the audience are rating it an 85%. So it seems like audiences are really enjoying most likely the humor aspect towards it, considering how much humor there was in the first one between Tom Hardy and his Venom symbiote. So it's very interesting, and so really you'd have to watch it to come up with your own opinion on it, just because of how down the middle it is split between critics ratings and audience ratings. So you really just have to watch it for yourself.
Yeah, and I personally really liked the first Venom movie. You know, I love me some Tom Hardy, of course, but it's interesting to see what it's going to be expected involved in it, seeing those scores. And personally, I can understand why the audience score is so high, because me being a part of the audience, I thought the first one was really good as well. But I guess everybody's just got to watch, the second one and let them see for themselves and their own opinions, of course. And now moving on to another kind of a crime thriller movie called House of Gucci, and this has Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, and this one looks interesting. I don't know too much about this, but I do know the trailer came out a couple months ago on July 29th it was, and it's supposed to be coming out, I think, in November. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, they did release a new poster for it. Now, this movie is centered around Maurizio Gucci's ex-wife, Patrizia Regini, who's played by Lady Gaga, and Adam Driver is playing the fashion designer Gucci. It also stars Jeremy Irons as Rodolfo Gucci, Al Pacino as Paolo Gucci, or Jared Leto as Paolo Gucci, and Al Pacino as Aldo Gucci. So it is, like you said, more of a crime thriller, and it's centered around Maurizio Gucci's ex-wife Patrizia, who's played by Lady Gaga, and where she is tried and accused of setting up the attempted assassination on her ex-husband. She is sentenced, she's dubbed the Black Widow and sentenced to 29 years in prison, and she ends up only serving 18. She was released back in 2016. And during the time of the trial, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor, who her kids blamed the assassination planning on that. So it is going to be centered around her attempt at the assassination, the trial, and the basics of their relationship and their marriage that spanned over, I think, around 12 years. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's based off the book House of Gucci, a sensational story of murder, madness, glamour, and greed by Sarah Gay Forden. So it is based on a book. It's directed by Ridley Scott, and I think it's going to be a fantastic film. We've seen Lady Gaga in a starring role back in 2018 with A Star Is Born, and she was fantastic. And Adam Driver also is a fantastic actor. And then you also have Al Pacino, who's very seasoned. He's a vet in the acting world. So I think this is going to be a fantastic film. I'm super excited for it. I love crime thrillers, so I'm very excited, and it is coming out in November on the 24th.
I'm super excited as well, especially to see those actors, as you were saying, work together and being able to see Lady Gaga show off her acting skills once again. And I personally really want to see at least one scene with Adam Driver, at least screaming once, because, you know, Adam Driver is hilarious when he's screaming. But that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Thank you.